and welcome back to the Citizen channel. You're all staying safe and well. And an episode of City Hat-Trick Heroes. Yes, so we're going to go back to September 1987, the 19th of September 1987. This guy played number 9 in the main for City. We did a special on him, number 9s, a while back now. It'll be out there, guys. I'll do a link on screen anyway. But we're going to talk about a certain gentleman, Imre Varadi, of course. We're going to talk about him today. He's got a few goals for City, but this was his only hat-trick. So we're just going to have a quick look back at that day. Sort of day, who was it against? Well, it was against Stoke City, yeah. Manchester City 3, so he scored all 3 goals. Stoke City 0 on the 19th of September 1987. He only played 68 full games, or started 68 full games, and had 13 substitute appearances. But he notched not a bad goal tally, 31 goals, so not quite two at sort of 1 every 2 games. Well, that wasn't bad, was it, for a team that was struggling just a little bit at the time. He'd actually scored pre-season. He'd actually scored 5 goals in a game. I think it was a 12-0 rout of somebody, but obviously that wasn't a competitive game, so that doesn't count. So we go to Main Road on a wet, yes, very wet, and I think it was a pretty poor September that year, mid-September afternoon. I've got a couple of programmes there that are a bit sodden. I can always tell we've had a bad season. Obviously, of the programmes, I tend to take a little plastic folder with me now, so it's not too bad. But in those days, obviously, some programmes I've literally had to rebuy because they were just so obviously grubby or stuck together. The build-up, yeah, how was City doing at this stage, at this season? Don't forget, this is the 87-88 season. How was City and Stoke doing, actually? How were they both doing? M.E.N was the manager. He'd been brought in to revive City's fortunes after Jimmy Frizzell had overseen relegation from Division 1 the previous season. Sadly, our second in 5 seasons, so we weren't doing very well, were we? And Varadi joined the previous October for a princely sum. Not bad. A bit of a bargain, £50,000. And he scored 9 goals for us during that season, but it wasn't enough to keep us up after such. It was a pretty disastrous start under Billy McNeil, of course, that season. And we never really recovered from it. We're only 6 games into this new season in the second division. We just won the Central League title. I think we just won the FA YouCut as well. So looked good for the future, didn't it? But obviously things weren't going that great this season. We'd only played 6 games and we were sat in the bottom half of the table after a less than auspicious start. A 4-0 win over Millwall the previous Wednesday. Was there any trouble there? I can't remember now. I think it was a bit early. I think the trouble came later, didn't it? Well, just 15,430 fans the previous Wednesday to watch this 4-0 victory over Millwall. Not great. The fans were sort of voting with their feet. We say how loyal we are, but we had our moments, as did most teams in those years. It wasn't the same in the 80s. It wasn't that sort of, if you like, trench warfare feeling for the fans. It was sort of, Swales was obviously in his pomp, and fans were just absolutely pissed off, in all fairness. It was as simple as that. And add to this as well, the Stoke game was actually the first. I can't remember back to this. I must have had one because it was saying in the programme notes that this was the first to see the operation of the membership card scheme. Yeah, the old membership card scheme. So I must have had one. I can't find it in my little the stuff I keep all my memorabilia in. I can't remember. You've got a copy, guys, let me know. But as I say, I must have one somewhere, but I have no idea where it is. And this was the first game. They're a bit worried about the attendance for this one as well, because obviously it was the first game where this membership scheme had come into being, and obviously there's a lot of objections to it. Stoke, well, they were being managed by Mick Mills. I think it was his second season, and they're actually above City this season, and they had played 2 games more, and that was just 2 points ahead. So obviously we beat them today. We go above them. The game, a 3 p.m. start on a Saturday. As I said, a bit of a wet afternoon, Saturday kickoff. No bananas. I think they were still a little bit in the future. Obviously, we always link Varadi with bananas, don't we? But I think certainly there might have been the guy who started it all, but I don't think so. I think this was a little bit later than September 1987. I'm not too sure. I didn't have a chance to go back and check up on that. But so there weren't any bananas that I could see in the crowd anyway, or the crowd that turned up, as it was only just below 20,000. Yes, the crowd had 19,322. There's a few Stoke fans, so yeah, let's be kind and say just over 18,000 City fans. I was there that day. As I say, not the greatest crowd. A City 11 that started the game: Nixon, Gidman, Hinchcliffe, Lake, Simpson, Redmond, White, Stewart, Varadi, Scott and McNabb. And the subs that neither got on in this game: Adcock and Clements were the subs. I'd say a typical wet afternoon at Main Road, and Varadi wasted no time in opening the score. And I think many Blues were probably still at the bars or still not in the ground when he opened the score. And after just 75 seconds, we attacked towards the Platt Lane end where the Stoke fans were housed. And on 75 seconds, McNabb played a nice ball to the left, and Simpson didn't mess about. He spotted Simpson and he sort of pushed it into the middle where Varadi was towards the edge of the box. And Varadi sort of side-footed it past the advancing keeper. I think it took a bit of a deflection and sort of skidded into the goal, but he took it very, very well. Yeah, I think the marking was a bit poor, but I'd say that was 75 seconds. And it was McNabb to Simpson, who, it was just a first-time ball into space, and Varadi got into that space. He was good. He was very good at that. One of his other goals was a similar thing as well. All three goals were sort of sniffer goals, strikers' goals. I mean, his second came from absolutely nothing. It was just a speculative long ball down the middle, and it appeared to be covered by the Stoke defender, but Varadi was harassing him, and he in the wet conditions, he just slipped, which left Varadi, and he took it to the edge of the box, and the keeper came out, and he just curled it with his left foot. This time he scored his first with the right foot. He just curled it with his left foot into the far corner of the net past the oncoming keeper. So that was 2-0 at half time, and it was only 3 minutes into the second half when he completed his hat-trick, and made it 3. Again, Simpson, the provider, down the left, and he sent one of these sort of Kevin De Bruyne-like balls right across the area, right, a diagonal across the 18-yard box into the 6-yard box, and it evaded two Stoke defenders. McNabb came sliding in; he didn't get any contact on it, and then Varadi met it just at the sort of near the back post, about 6 yards out from the back post, side foot it into the net with the keeper well beaten to make it 3-0 and give him his hat-trick, and that was his hat-trick for the day. It's not a bad hat-trick, all right. It wasn't a pure hat-trick, a left foot, right foot, and a header, but two right foots and a left foot, that wasn't too bad. He could certainly put the ball in the net with both feet. Mel Machin, his manager, commented on his number 9 that he was pleased for him. Pleased for Varadi. He's a lad who loves scoring goals and averages 1 in 2 games. He'd been a bit miserable because he'd had an injury and not managed to get on the score sheet in the 4-0 win over Millwall. But after his hat-trick on Saturday, he might be happy for a couple of weeks. Yeah, interesting. Read between the lines there. Well, he's not reading between the lines. He wasn't. Him and Machin didn't. I don't think they really particularly got on that well. I think Varadi was carrying an injury for most of that season as well, so he wasn't always at it, and it was a bit unhappy. I mean, that win itself moves City into the top half of the table above Stoke, so we went into a nice spot. But of course, it would turn out to be a disappointing season. Any hopes of promotion were sort of over just after Christmas. We'd hit 5th spot early December, but by the end of the season, we just were middling in the middle of the table, 10th, 11th, 9th. And eventually we would finish again back in 9th spot at the end of the season. Stoke themselves, they finished 11th in what really was a disappointing season for them. They'd been hoping to get into the First Division as well. And back to the Varadi, as I said, he never really appeared overly happy under Mel Machin. But, of course, that one afternoon, we were all happy, weren't we? On the 19th of September 1987, he might have been carrying a knock, but he was a hat-trick hero for City, and certainly he, for that 2 weeks as well, Machin said hopefully it might have been a bit longer, but I say it was January, I think he put in a transfer request. He'd gone. He still stayed till the end of the season, but I think he'd gone by the September of the following season, something like that. So say he wasn't a happy bunny, I don't think. Certainly after Mel Machin came in and took charge. But for that afternoon, 19th of September 1987, he was a hat-trick hero. He and us, the fans, were definitely happy. So let me know. Were you there? Were you there that day? I think I was probably standing on the Kippax that day. I think so. 87. So I might have taken my firstborn. I might not have taken the lad a bit early for him. 4. Could have been going at 4. I'm not too sure. But yeah, could have been on the Kippax with my daughter, or we could have been in the North Stand, something like that. But if you were there, let me know any memories you've got, and any memories of Imre Varadi, of course. Get your bananas out, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please, until we meet again, stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.